My name's Eloisa Harris. I'm a political scientist here in Göttingen at the Max Planck Institute for the Study of Religious and Ethnic Diversity. And my research focuses mainly on political conflict at the intersection of immigration and the welfare state in Western European countries. So here we've seen an increasing salience of immigration in the public discourse, not to mention the rising success of populist radical right parties, but simultaneously a wave of austerity measures which have led to cuts in welfare benefits and services in many of the countries I study. So in my research, I focus on how political parties and their voters navigate what's been called a tension between high immigration on the one hand and generous welfare states on the other. In particular, in my PhD research, I looked at the notion of welfare chauvinism, which is the argument that we should exclude immigrants from the welfare state in order to solve this tension. And I looked at how mainstream parties on the left and right talk about this issue at elections and which policies come about when they enter government. So because I'm interested generally in comparative questions across countries or differences over time, I've tended to use quantitative methods to answer these questions. And that means that I use statistical analysis to look at the relationship between groups of variables, such as attitudes to immigration and voting for the radical right. But in order to do this, we need good data. And although I draw from a range of different data sources, I'm primarily using survey data right now. And here at the Max Planck, I'm involved in a survey project called the DIVA project, in which we've interviewed about 3,000 individuals living in German cities and asked them questions about attitudes to immigration and also diversity in their city. And once we have this data, there's a long process of cleaning and making sure we can use it, and then I'll plug that into a statistical software and assess whether the relationships that we hypothesized do actually exist. So I'd say firstly, my research on immigration and the welfare state has shown that actually there's a large variation across European countries in terms of how immigrants are included into welfare state benefits and services. Yet we know from other research that immigrants who are more included into the welfare state have a higher subjective well-being, and they're also more successful in active labour market programmes. So it seems like a win-win situation for everyone involved. Therefore, I hope that this data and research can be used by NGOs, think tanks and policymakers to better understand the integration of immigrants and lay the groundwork for change in the future. So secondly, at the research I'm doing here at the Max Planck, the DIVA project, we show that rather than having anti-immigration attitudes, the majority of the German population are rather positive towards diversity and immigration in their cities. And I think this is important because a lot of research has been focused on anti-immigration attitudes, whereas rather, given the future where we all need to come together and understand how to live together in diverse communities, it's really important to understand that there are positive views too.